of pandemic?
This virus came to us suddenly, and no one knew it was coming. But from the way it came, it was very plain and clear that it was pre-planned. There was an enormous amount of planning that took place before the vaccine was released into the world. Who are those?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahilladzi arsala rasulahu bil huda wa dinil haqq liyuzhirahu 'ala dini kullihi wa kafa billahi syahida. Berjumpa lagi dengan channel Mars TECHNO. Kami doakan semoga semua sahabat dalam keadaan sehat selalu. Kali ini adalah lanjutan dari video Sheikh Imran Hosein yang menjelaskan tentang fenomena virus yang saat ini melanda dunia. Video ini diambil saat beliau berceramah di Albania. Sahabat, silahkan menyaksikan.
Don't take the vaccine, you could lose your job. This is oppression. And they are dancing to the tunes of those who gave us 9/11 and have now given us a virus. That was bogus. This is bogus in the sense it has not come from nature, it's come from a laboratory. But why is this taking place at this time? That's the question I'd like to answer. And because I am a scholar of Islamic eschatology, our Prophet has prophesied that in the end time there'll be a plague, an epidemic, a pandemic, which will wipe out the Arabs the way sheep die in a plague. And so I hold the view that this virus is going to lead us eventually, I don't know how long, to a very virulent virus emerging that's going to wipe out the Arabs in Israel and around Israel. And this will facilitate the establishment of a Pax Judaica, which will seek to replace Pax Americana.
Thank you. Scientifically speaking, people are skeptic on the vaccines, but don't you think the mRNA vaccines could lead us or could be the next generation vaccines?
I said to you that we in Islam, we have no objection, religious objection to vaccines. No. The medical evidence is not there to suggest that vaccines are dangerous. But this particular vaccine, we have great suspicion concerning it. So I cannot give an answer which is for a general answer on vaccine and include this one. There are many in the world today who hold the view that I hold, that there is a sinister agenda attached to this vaccine. What is that agenda? We don't know. It could be...
Who makes that agenda?
It could be that when you take the first vaccine, you'll have to take a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth. And eventually there'll come in a vaccine which will push something in your body which will allow you to be tracked. Wherever you go, they can track you. I don't want that in my body. So I'm not going to take any vaccine. And there are many, many who hold the same view. Now, in some countries, they're making mandatory for the children. The children cannot go to school unless they have the vaccine. That is monstrous oppression.
Were we prepared for this new wave of pandemic?
This virus came to us suddenly, and no one knew it was coming. But from the way it came, it was very plain and clear that it was pre-planned. There was an enormous amount of planning that took place before the vaccine was released into the world. Who are those who planned it? Who are those who are pursuing a particular agenda with this virus and vaccine? My answer is the same people who gave us 9/11 are the same people who have given us this virus.
I've listened to many of your interviews, and your discourse on the after-COVID world was that of a multinational economy, in a sense that the economy is going to be universalized. And my question is, how did you come to this conclusion, and what threat does it present? Is money the main reason for all this to happen?
Our Prophet Muhammad, Allah's blessings be upon him, prophesied as only a prophet could prophesy, that there is slavery at the end of history. Yes, we had slavery in Egypt, we had slavery in Babylon, we had slavery in modern Western civilization enslaving the African people and so on. But he was talking about a slavery at the end of history. And that slavery is one in which he said that a slave woman would give birth to her mistress. We identify that slavery with economic slavery, and we identify the economic slavery with riba. Riba is a transaction which does not qualify as a just transaction. The Americans call it a rip-off. We find that economic injustice in the monetary system that has come from the Western world, and we don't have the time today to explain that monetary system of paper money and plastic money and electronic money and cryptocurrencies and so on. But we also find it in the banking system. And if you read John Perkins' book on economic hitmen, you will find John Perkins has done a good job in explaining how the banking system is working. Their plan is to impoverish the masses, to reduce you to destitution and eventually enslavement, economic enslavement. What our Prophet has said is, if you have a plague, he gave only one order. He says, if you're in the area in which the plague is taking place, don't leave. And if you're outside, don't enter. This is quarantine. So we agree with quarantine. But he never said, Prophet Muhammad, Allah's blessings be upon him, never said that economic activity must be curtailed, that the market must be shut down, that people must be stopped from working and earning their livelihood. And governments have deprived people of their rights to earn their livelihood during this pandemic by shutting down the economy. When you shut down the economy, what do? The people who are rich, they survive. But the poor don't survive. Businesses collapse. People are reduced now to destitution. Around the world, this has been taking place. So definitely, there is one part of the agenda of this virus to bring such economic change as will make the world better for the rich and worse for the poor.